Welcome back, everyone. We're here on a brand new week of the Cabral Concept. I'm Stephen Cabral, board-certified doctor of naturopathy. If you're new to the show, we appreciate you being here each and every Monday to start the week off right. It's not just about mindset. It's not just about motivation, but it's also about actionable steps that you can take in your life in order to reach your potential. Nobody else's, not what your family wants for you, not what your friend wants for you, not even what your spouse wants for you, but really what you are looking to get out of life, what you're looking to achieve in life. And so much of that comes from just little confidence boosters along the way. And those confidence boosters, they don't happen by accident. They actually happen by dedicated planning, discipline, and then going about doing what you've been thinking about doing, taking small actions that will lead to big steps in your life. Again, they seem small in the moment, but one little win after another enables you to even think bigger. And next thing you know, you're actually going for that job that you've been looking to really go after, or the relationship, or the body transformation, or the health transformation, or the spirituality-based transformation. Whatever it is that you're looking for, I do believe that you can achieve it. I know that you can achieve it. What we need to do, though, is bring that mind in order with your true potential. And really the way that I do that is by writing down, not a million things. Like, that's the thing, is sometimes, and I'm the same way, you know, we've got dozens of goals that we want to achieve. And as I always say, all in good time. But what are the ones that have to be achieved now in order for the other ones to happen? So those are the ones that you want to follow up with first. It's basically like knocking down dominoes, right? You need to hit some crucial and strategic dominoes in order to make everything else after that so much easier. And so what I've done, and really I've looked at this, it's been more than a decade now, but I started writing down my non-negotiables, meaning that, okay, if nothing else happens, if I don't make anything else happen in my life, these are the things that have to happen. And it all started with my health. And that's the truth, is because I was a miserable person when I was sick. I was not happy. I don't think that I was probably that fun to be around. And it affected my work. It affected my relationships. It affected everything, because I was walking around like a walking zombie. I had flu-like symptoms all the time. I had brain fog. I was absolutely like debilitated in terms of being able to do anything without not getting sick. So if I missed a night's sleep, okay, I get sick, swollen glands, cold symptoms, all of that, right? It's like, okay, if I eat the wrong foods, if I drink alcohol, if I stay out too late, I get sick. And so it was a miserable existence. That's miserable. Like, it really is. I think most people would feel that way. So I said, okay, I need to dedicate my life to getting well. Not to anything else, like not building a career, not building up these great relationships, or really working on deeper levels of spirituality. It's not like those things aren't important. They are, right? They absolutely are. The problem was, none of that was going to happen. It really wasn't, because I was in such a bad spot. So I started creating non-negotiables first around health, as I started to get well around everything else. And I want to share with you some of the non-negotiables that I have today. They're different than I had, years ago, but what do I have today? Like, what's going on today? And maybe you can just glean a little bit from that, but I don't want to hold myself up on any type of soapbox, just to let you know that. These are my non-negotiables. They have absolutely nothing to do with you, most likely. But what you can do is you can say, oh, okay, well, he has 3 to 5 in each area. Are some of those overlapping with me? Maybe I can adopt some of those if you don't have any of your own yet. Or you just say, oh, I get it. You can't have 50 in every area because it's too much to focus on. So let me just share with you a few, how I go about it, but also why it makes life so much easier. Because the thing is this, if you have non-negotiables, it means what? Well, it means if something comes up contrary to that non-negotiable, the answer is always no, or at least 99+% of the time. It's a no. Let me give you an example. So the first category of non-negotiables for me is still health. So do I care deeply for my family, my extended family? Yes. My community? Yes. Like, no doubt about it. But I can't do that without my health. Do I care about my teams at my work environment? Very deeply. Can I help them and lead without my health? Very difficult. Really difficult, right? Because I have to be in the right spot mindset-wise and energy body-wise in order to make any of this happen. So I always lead with health. Okay, it doesn't mean that that's like, I put that ahead of, my family or anything like that, but it's no, I can do both. So I just want to share with that. So here's a non-negotiable. I go to bed no later than 10 p.m. Do I like going to bed at 10 p.m.? No. Would I rather go to bed closer to 11, 11:30? Yes, I would. And I've always said that, and I've always felt that way. I don't like going to bed at 10 p.m. I never have. Here's what I do like though. I like having lots of energy. I like feeling great in both mind and body. I like being able to go essentially nonstop during the day. Wake up, as you'll hear, help with my daughters in the morning, get right into work. Then it's, I've got my walk and talks we'll talk about, my workouts. I've got my family time after work, after my workout, dinner, time with my wife, all of it in one day. And I can only do that if I have my health and my energy. So I go to bed between 9:30 and 10, not because I want to, but because I want everything else it affords me. That's it. That's the bottom line. So do I forego being able to, scroll around social media later at night, read a little bit more that I would enjoy, maybe watch a documentary or movie at night? Sure. I don't do any of those things because there isn't time. There's just not time. So then I front load it earlier in the day. And that allows me then to do more of my other non-negotiables, which again, I'll share in just a moment. So it's also like, let's say a friend invites me out and like, oh, you want to grab a late dinner at 9 p.m. The answer is no, 99% of the time. It really is. And I'm not trying to be rude or anything like that. Why? Because it goes against my number one non-negotiable, which is keeping my health. That's it. So I say, hey, love to get a 7 o'clock dinner, even though that's way later than my typical dinner, which is closer to 5:30, right? Because I like to stop eating 3-4 hours before bed, right? Those are smaller non-negotiables. Like there's different levels to things, but that's one that I want to share with you. Like that's the thing. And I do dinners all the time early. Like, hey, do you want to do a 5:30, 6 p.m. dinner? I do that all the time. People are like, wow, that's pretty early. I'm like, yes, it is. But then we start talking about health and those types of things. And it's also nice because we'll finish with dinner by 7, right? If we're having a 5:30, 6 o'clock dinner. And they're like, oh, I have the whole night ahead of me. Like, yeah, absolutely. Like you have more of the night. So anyway, just wanted to share that, is it something you're going to do when you're 22 years old? No, it's not. But I'm in a different phase of life right now. And actually I had to start doing it around 22, 23 years old. I had to get back my health, but you may not, right? So different phases of life. I totally get it. I have 2 daughters now. It's very, very different, right? All right. So around my health, what I eat, non-negotiable. I just don't have more than 2 cheat meals or 2 desserts a week. That's it. Do I want to? Of course. I'd like to have ice cream every single night. That would be really enjoyable. Love to have that, right? I'd like to eat pasta, 3-4 nights a week. Do I? No. That's the thing is just because you want to doesn't mean you do. That's where the discipline comes in. But the thing is, I understand discipline isn't necessarily easy. It's easy once you've been doing it for a while. You really need to get in those 21 days. The next step is the 64 days or so. And then after that's the 90 days. Basically, there's these 3 blocks of time. First 21 days sets it in. 60 starts to solidify it. 90, it's a part of your lifestyle, right? So it's 12-week protocols. They work. That's 90 days essentially, close to it. And so when we look at that, it's okay, I don't do that and I don't snack after dinner. Now, would I like to snack after dinner? I would. I enjoy eating. I really do. I enjoy snacks. I enjoy all these different things. Do I do it? No, because I know it affects my heart rate variability, my deep sleep, all the things that I want in order to give me what? More energy, more of life. I just feel that remember, I'm someone coming from a background of Addisons disease, which is basically no cortisol production, no energy production. So I'm grateful for the high level of energy I wake up with every day. And I'm just not going to compromise that. That's the truth. I'm grateful for that, and I'm just not willing to go backwards. Now, the other thing is the supplements. I take supplements every day. There's no days off. Why? Well, they're there to give me the nutrients I need for my body and for the day. That's it. No days off from that. I don't need any days off. It takes me 30 seconds to take my nutritional supplements at each meal and upon waking. It's easy, right? And then the other one for me is stress reduction. It's gotten so much easier over the years. Naturally, I'm a hard charger, go, all in type of person. And I haven't changed, but I've reframed that. And now anytime I'm getting stressed, I go back to my breath. I go to bed earlier that night. I wake up refreshed. I look at life with a deep, deep sense of gratitude. and I move on. Like, that's the truth. Like, so those are big things. Those are my non-negotiables with health. I have the same for body. I'm just going to go through a couple with you. Every single day is 7,000 and 10,000 steps. No less than 7,000. I will literally go for a walk after dinner if I'm less than 7,000. That's it. I won't do less than it. So I just know, hey, if you don't want to walk tonight after dinner, you better get your steps in. And so now what do? I just implement things during my day. I have a walk and talk, 8 to 9 a.m. I have so many people writing in direct messages saying, even at work, I just ask my boss or whoever, can I do my calls while walking? And yeah, absolutely. My brother-in-law is the one who actually first gave me this idea. He works at a very large facility, and he does like 18,000 steps a day. Right? It's tremendous for your health. I get in 7,000 to 10,000 steps. On a high day, it might be 12,000, but I typically stay right within that range. So for me, it's easy. I do my HPH protocol. I'll be talking about that in just another couple weeks. It probably won't be more than 2-3 weeks before I share all of that with you. My HPH protocol has been a game changer. I mean, bottom line, like I didn't think I could get more energy. I didn't think I could feel better, but I do. And so I implement sauna, PMF, red light, EWAT, all of these things in a very specific format in 30 to 60 minutes every single day. I do it 4 to 5 days a week. And so anyway, wanted to share that with you. So that's been amazing. What I need to work on, it's not a non-negotiable yet. So that's why I tell you, again, you can't have a million non-negotiables. I need to get better at stretching, foam rolling, and or massage. I'm not there yet. I haven't made those non-negotiable, which means what? They don't get scheduled. I'll talk about that a little later in today's show. So really important. I need to start making those more of a non-negotiable. I really do. You want to maintain flexibility. You want to basically, for the health of your tissues, your muscle tissue, you want to foam roll or get a massage. And I have to schedule it. It's not part of my schedule right now because it takes away from my next category, which is relationships. So bottom line is this. I block my time around my daughter's time. Like, that's the truth. Because I know that in the grand scheme of things, I have a finite period of time that I spend most of my time with them. And that's actually below 12 years old. Like, I've looked at all the different studies and all the different research. The majority of the time you spend with your children will be before 12 years old. And then, of course, certainly before 18 years old, before they leave the house and they're doing their thing. And again, this is my philosophy. This is my thought process through it. But I just don't want to look back saying, I wish I spent more time with them. So at 5 o'clock, they're oftentimes in my gym. So I now have a home gym that I built out because I didn't want to spend any time commuting to the gym. Saves me about an hour a day. So now my workout is 30 minutes to 60 minutes maximum. That's it. I have my daughters come in, 5 o'clock. We're hanging out typically in the home gym. I've got a punching bag there that they have fun using. I've got a PMF mat. I've got all sorts of great things. And they started working out with me too. So I think it's nice for them to see. I think modeling good behaviors are great things, for your kids to see. So that's been really, really great. But then also help them get ready in the morning. So what do I do? Okay, between 5:30 and 6, I'm up. By 7 o'clock, when they're up, I'm done. Like, that's it. Like, now it's their time. I've been up for an hour and a half. And so like I've had that. I'll talk about that at the very end of today's show. I've had that time. And then after 5 o'clock, well, I'm there. Right? Like, whatever they need, I'm there. We do home projects. We do all sorts of different board games. We play chess, fun things together as a family. We have dinner for a half hour or so. And then again, we're doing some of that after dinner. And sometimes, of course, they're just playing with each other, 2 sisters. I want them to have their time alone together as well. And then when they go to bed, my wife and I have an hour and a half to ourselves. Like, those are all non-negotiables. That is how my Monday through Friday is set up. And the Saturdays, I don't book it. It's for them. So I'm booking activities for them, surfing, martial arts, fun things to do in that regards, but it's their time. So those are non-negotiables. So again, if you want me to go to an event on a weekend, it's really difficult. Like, it's going to be really challenging to get me to that event if I don't have my family there, right? I'd rather do it on Monday through Friday because I have 24 hours or 16 hours, right, during the days with them on the weekend, and I might get 3-4 hours on a weekday with them at school and activities, et cetera. So those are things that I try to do. And then I have to get better. My wife and I have both said that, but we just don't have a good babysitter right now. And we need someone to be able to watch our girls so that we can take a night out every single week. And then also we can go away at least once a year together as well. So we've done that. It's not that we don't go to dinner, we do. It's not like we don't go away, we do, but not to the extent that we would like to be able to. And so that's something that we're working on, right? It's not a non-negotiable yet, or it would be getting done. So we need to make it one of those non-negotiables. And, I look forward to being able to do that too. So those are all non-negotiables. And then I just have a couple more with my family. And those are mainly about what I want to be able to teach my daughters, as they're growing up. And those are all part of my non-negotiables. With career, and then I'll just get to spirituality as last ones. I do a daily podcast. It's a non-negotiable. People are like, you could just take a break. Like, you can take a week off. And I said, I could. Yeah, I could. And it's not that I don't take time off. I do. But I make sure that I do extra podcasts as needed. Like, that's the thing. I've committed to it. It's a non-negotiable. Every day, my team knows this. Every day, we put out an audio podcast and a video podcast on YouTube. Every day, right? Every day, we answer people's questions in cabralsupportgroup.com, on social media, everywhere. We answer the questions, right? Like, that's what we do. So those are non-negotiables. Like, everything else besides that, no. But like, those are all non-negotiables. And then for myself is just trying to lead by example. Like, I try my best to lead by example. I am by no means perfect. My team knows that. I'm not the most patient individual in the world. I see our potential. I see the future of this industry. I want to get there. I want to move there. But people know that it's always with good intentions. And so that's really it. And then also the other part is my non-negotiable is that don't ever forget that you need to be teaching to the best of your ability the next generation of integrative health practitioners. Like, you need to continue to pass along everything that you've learned, that you've been able to accumulate from great doctors and practitioners all around the world, so that that's never forgotten. And so that's a big non-negotiable. And the last one is spirituality. So those are my big five. I always talk about it: health, body, relationships, career. Spirituality. Well, what is spirituality? Spirituality is what you make of it, honestly. It can be a formal, organized religion, and that's phenomenal. It really is. Or your connectedness to the world around you and nature, whatever you want it to be. For me, I've always found the deepest level of spirituality in nature, and also being around people. Because, no matter how you classify God, et cetera, I always see that in the work. I see that in the humans, the people, the animals, the plants, the trees, everything around us, right? Like, that's what I see it in. And when you look into all sorts of different spiritual teachings, it does say that. It looks at that, right? This is creation. And so what I try to do is this: take some time to unplug, take some time to be present, and really allow myself to think and just feel connected and feel grateful. I keep going back to gratitude, and it's one of the best things that you can begin to cultivate in your life. There's just no doubt about it. And for me, a big part of that is waking up an hour before my family. I can't recommend it enough. It's just your own time. It's quiet time. The rest of the world isn't up. The sun hasn't risen yet, right? Like, it's, except for the summertime when the sun rises early, but when I'm up, the sun hasn't risen yet. I get to watch the sunrise. I get to listen to my mindset audios and my videos, or do my reading, all of that in quiet, in solitude. And that, to me, is a real spiritual exercise. So I just wanted to share, those are some of my non-negotiables today. They all have deep meaning to me. And even though I have been talking now for 15 minutes, 16 minutes or so on those, what I want you to recognize, though, is I didn't name a lot. I named about 3 to maybe 5 in each area. And if you're just starting out, you don't want to do all 5 areas. You want to do the area that needs the most, right? That takes the most work, or that needs the most attention. So for me, in my 20s, what did I do? Well, I was fortunate to have already met my wife. So that, like, to me, it allowed me to say, I already know, the woman that I want to be with. And so I didn't have to try to be anybody that I wasn't. I didn't try to go out, looking to find new relationships. And she was very supportive of me trying to get well. That's the bottom line. So I got to focus really fully on healing and getting healthy. And that was it. Like, that was my non-negotiables. And so all these other things, they were not there. They really weren't. I didn't have I had my career, I had all of those things, but not to what I'm doing today. I had to focus on one thing. You know what? It worked. And I recommend the same thing for you. If you're struggling in one particular area, focus in on that. Really dial it in. Do not deviate from the path until you achieve that one thing that you know will transform your life. If you do that, I'm telling you right now, everything else will begin to fall into place. Hopefully today's Mindset and Motivation Monday podcast was helpful. Of course, if it was, do feel free to share it with anyone you believe it could serve. Take care, everybody. Have an amazing week. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything. Functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.